You may find this very strange. During the 8 years when I was threatened for 8 years by Hamites, the phone used to ring day and night. Hey, bam, and hang up the phone. Hey, the black man, bam, and hang up the phone. Hey, we're going to kill you, bam, and hang up the phone. All day and all night, to the point where people just got scared to pick up the phone. It just went on day and night, night and day. The answering service during the office hours, black people calling this church day and night. And they did it for 8 years. They did it during the Obama presidency. For 8 years they called. I'm going to kill you, you coon. I'm going to kill you. Get on the coon train. I'm going to kill you, you Uncle Tom, you Uncle Ruckus. I'm going to kill you. You ain't for the black man. We black people got to stick together. Bam! Cursing. Gonna burn down that church. Social annihilation. Mailing feces, boxes of feces. They mailed to the church. They didn't do it once. They just did it over and over again. And then they would mail dildos and pornography. Black people to a black church that preach righteousness and the resurrection. 8 years they threatened to kill me. 8 years of threats of destruction, desertion, even 1 or 2 attempted murder events. I'll tell you about that later. And the abuse. But you know, the strange thing about this, the irony about this, and everybody knows that's went on. These are black people, right? These are so-called Hamites, the black man, right? Calling the church like that because they're in love with Obama. And some of the things they did otherwise that didn't call, but called other people, newspapers, televisions, and others, people of note that they called with the same purpose to see utter destruction fall on this house day in and day out. We probably got less calls than some of the other people outside, such as the media and others, police, investigations. And but the irony of all of this is this, and this is what the Hamite brother did to me, to us. The Lord said to me that when this was happening to me, that the Japheth, that's the white man, came to help us. Yeah. He came. Thank you, Elder. You know it. He came. He saw what they were doing to me, and they came in the droves to stand with me, to help me, to give to us. And had they not come and filled up these pews and filled up the offering baskets and put us on radio, put us in the newspapers, gave us opportunity to speak and to travel and support, we may not have made it had the white man not come to save a black church in Harlem. That's why they came. They came from all over America to help us because they saw what my so-called black brother was doing to me. And he came, and all of them, authors came, doctors came, politicians came. Then you saw them, they all came over the 8 years, slept in my house, ate at my table. I slept in their houses, ate at them. They befriended me, welcomed me in, took us in, promised to protect us, provided for us, asked us, can we help? Because I see what the black man is doing to y'all, black church in Harlem. Isn't that something? Were it not for the white man coming to help us, we would not have survived the 8 years of Obama. There's no way this church would have done it. When they came, even Howard Stern, when they came, because the black people thought they had, man, it ain't gonna make it. He said Obama ain't gonna be the president. He ain't for the black man. We black people got to stick together. He's a coon. Manning is a coon. He's Uncle Tom. He's Uncle Ruckus. He ain't gonna make it. We're gonna take him down. Obama's our boy. We're gonna take Manning down. And they came. Then they saw me on television. And they heard me speaking. They saw the support I was getting. It caused them to pause for just a second. Now they didn't stop. But somebody came to my aid. You know, the disciples didn't come, you're going back to the original thesis today. The disciples didn't come to the aid of Jesus. But a lone thief came and said, we know who you are. I know who you are, Jesus. And I want to let you know I'm with you. These white people, these Japheth people, and I want to thank them. Every last one of them, though they're not here now, I want to thank them because God sent them here from Texas to help me. Sit out in our courtyard and let the passers-by. They came to Harlem and exposed themselves to the same threats that I was exposed to. Sat out in our courtyard, visited our churches, slept in our homes, ate at our table, exposing themselves to the same thing. They said, you're threatening Pastor Manny, threaten us. Here we come. And they came. They came by the hundreds. They came to help me. Ain't that something? Thank you, Mr. Japheth, man. Thank you, every one of you white. Thank y'all. Thank y'all for inviting me into your homes. Thank you. Thank you. Because had they not done that, the black man would have destroyed this church. Obama and his minions, his demons would have destroyed us, and we would have been history, were it not for the Japheth man. So I just want to thank him. Now, of course, you know, when I talked about Trump, well, they had to take a walk, but we understand that. I understand that. I understand it clearly. I'm forever grateful and in debt. I mean, they even called me to be their pastors. They asked, be my pastor. Churches, pastors, what churches said, be my pastor, be the pastor of this church. Come on, Pastor Man, be our pastors. West Virginia, California, Texas. Even people right here won't even have me as their pastor. But pastors, what congregation and churches asked me to be over their churches? Because they wanted to help me. They saw what most black people didn't see in terms of those who stood, who didn't throw any stones, but stood and watched. Black people wanted to destroy me. They still do, posting up stuff on the internet. You know, the stuff that went up, you thought it came from somebody way across town. Oh, no, my brother. No, sir. No, sir. These Obama worshipers. But God sent these people to help me. And I'm thankful to them. This is symbolic. It's where Jesus was baptized. It's where John baptized. And so this is not a rebaptism. It's just a symbolic, if you will, act of what we're going to do, being in the water at the place where Jesus was baptized. And what I'd like to do is to baptize today that we would come to terms with the understanding of what God is calling for in righteousness. He's not calling for prosperity. He isn't calling for culturalism. God is calling for righteousness. If we would commit ourselves to fulfill all righteousness, and God has calls us to be persecuted for righteousness' sake, as John was persecuted for righteousness, and so Jesus. I got to tell you that I'll never forget this experience of actually stepping in the water where Jesus were baptized and where John has baptized so many people. This is such a historic and a powerful, powerful sight. Just to touch the water was so critical. And I'm glad that people got baptized to have that experience. It was a safe experience and a great experience. I'm not even going to change my clothes. I want to just stay in baptism mode until I get back to the hotel. So that's what I want to say. All right.
This has been live from the Jordan River. God bless you all. Peace.
Righteousness. Boom, chakalaka goes right there.
Over the years, we have served more than 1 million meals to hungry bellies and hungry people here in the Harlem community. And I wanted you to be able to see that. I want you to see our involvement with youth, our summer youth programs, our courtyard being used as a place where children can be safe, guarded, and protected as they have their miniature swimming pools, and a safe place for children to eat that is guarded, that is protected by our own sense of security, and the wholesome and fresh meals that we serve. We wanted you to be able to see the mission of this church. And we've been doing this for years. Just recently, one of our members, more than a 30-year member of this church, but it hasn't, not one that that you would probably find as members of some other churches with their nose stuck up in the air. But her father is now close to death or very sick in the state of South Carolina. And I said to her, because she doesn't have money, I said, we will buy you a bus ticket, a round trip bus or train ticket for you to travel to South Carolina to be with your father in this time of pandemic. There's very little funding around. There's sickness everywhere. And the thing that just blew me away was she said, as she was talking to Elizabeth, she said, but how are you going to do that, to pay for me a round trip ticket to travel and give me expense money? And because Pastor Manning has to feed the children, he has to educate the children, he has to buy school supplies for them, he has to pick them up in the mornings and take them back, and then he's got the ministry he has to take care of, all the bills of running the church, of keeping a major house like our house operational, keep the lights on, how are you going to be able to do that? And she was almost reluctant to take the money because she felt that it would be better served by feeding the children. We gave it to her anyway. But we want you to know that we do a work in this community. There have been a lot of lies told on us. And it's almost unimaginable why some of the people that have lied on us. But I can tell you behind all of it is the LGBTQ community. They don't want us to be successful, but we are, and we're going to continue to be successful in serving the meals that we're serving and serving the people that we are. And the LGBTQ community will not take us down. They are not going to take our church. Yet they've defamed us. They've written ugly newspaper articles about us. They've marched against us. They've done a whole lot of ugly things. But you see what we have done, and that's not even the half of our service to children and to the needy in terms of our homeless shelters and the things that we've done over the years. And we will continue. And probably the lies and the smears and the ugly newspaper articles and the wicked spirits and the so-called I ain't for the black man, that is not going to go away. I don't expect it to go away. I don't. But I do tell you this, that we will succeed against all of that, for God is with us, and I am his servant.